Get this night off right and turn the bass up. Blow my eardrums up, just like a fire truck. Get this night off right and turn the bass up. Yeah, I like it loud, I like it loud. Shaking through your legs, the way the sun drops, feel it in your chest, the way your heart stops. Get this night off right and turn the bass up. Yeah, I like it loud, I like it loud now.
After getting slammed by Mother Nature last week, we're finally going Friday night racing here with all 5 of our weekly divisions. More so than any other, the SK Light drivers are on edge for their extended distance 30-lap feature. Kyle Rickey's just caught up with one.
And Rob, the SK Light Modifieds will run 30 laps tonight, a continuation of their event back on the Napa Spring Sizzler weekend, where the lineup was set by 2 dual races, and Joey Farino, they call him the mayor, finished top 5 in one of those events. That gives you a second row start tonight. What'd you learn a couple of weeks ago to start the season in that 20-lapper?
I honestly thought after the heat race we were going home. Got tangled up in an incident, bent the frame, and DJ and Brain Burnham, they got this thing straightened out to the point where it was competitive. I really thought we're just going to roll it in the trailer and go home. And it was the best car I've had in a long time, even being bent. I had to throw all the notes away from the night because the car's straight again, but I'm just excited to be back where we were, starting the season off in a good spot. And the last couple of years, first race got tangled up in mechanical problems, wrecks, and get out of the handicap, and it just sets the note for the whole season. You just can't dig out of it.
20 laps versus 30 laps. 20 laps, the normal weekly distance, 30 laps tonight. In fact, 40 laps next week. We'll talk more about that later, but 30 tonight, do you really notice a difference with those 10 laps?
The car doesn't too much. I mean, you burn off a little bit more fuel. You know, it changes a little bit, minuscule. I'm hoping it calms everyone down a little bit because you're not trying to come from 30th to 1st in 20 laps. With the amount of cars we have in the division, the longer race, I'm thinking it'll give a much better show.
Best of luck to you here later tonight.
Thank you very much, sir. Hopefully I'm talking to you at the end of it.
Joey Farino to the outside of row 2 in the 30-lap SK Light Modified feature event here later this evening. Now let's go to the other side of the pits and Rob.
Kyle, I caught up with Meg Fuller. Meg, a top 5 in the duel a few weeks ago. Now with the invert, you're starting up on the pole. Do you think you got the car to keep it up there?
I definitely think that we worked out the mechanical gremlins that we were talking about on Monday night at the karts. We ran Thompson on Wednesday and we got a 3rd place finish, but the 5th in the duel was definitely just by luck, but I'm glad that there is a top 10 invert that I had no clue that there was.
Now it's an extended race here with 30 laps, a little more time to maybe get settled in. Is this the kind of race where you're going to fire off and try to get going, or are you sort of anticipating some late race restarts here?
Well, with the way that the SK Lights put on a show, I definitely think that there's going to be some restarts. I definitely try not to use up too much of my car in the beginning of the race just because I want to keep what I have for the end so we can do the mad dash. If we're not out front, we can try to make the best of our night.
Good luck out there, Meg.
Thank you.
Meg Fuller optimistic for the extended distance SK Light race, and now with a driver who came oh so close here in the SK Modifieds.
And Rob, we're able to catch up with the runner-up finisher from a couple of weeks ago to begin our 2025 SK Modified season, and Mikey Flynn. You ended last year with some positive momentum, and it looks like it continued into this season. How'd it feel from behind the wheel?
Yeah, it felt really good. I think we started around 10th. We got stuck on the outside for the first few laps, caught a couple cautions. Finally got to the bottom where you wanted to be, and right when we got to the bottom, we made our way to the front. So got shuffled back about like lap 30-ish, and I think that kind of messed the rest of our race up, but we were able to come back through and grab a 2nd place, which is, can't complain about that start to the season. So
I was just going to say, you want every night to be a good night, but how important is it to get off on the right foot to start a season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you hear a lot of drivers say it. I mean, I've been a victim of it where you start in a hole and you're taking like 4 or 5 weeks just to get out of it. So you always want to start hot and start out on a good note.
Speaking of hot, it's a lot hotter today than it was a couple of weeks ago by about 30 degrees. How do you think that'll affect things out there here later tonight?
Honestly, I don't really know. I mean, there was just a ton of rubber on the track 2 weeks ago at the Sizzler. It took us like 2 days to clean this thing off, so I'm kind of interested to see some of the differences that are going to be, shown tonight. So we'll see what happens.
Good luck here later tonight.
Thank you, Kyle.
Second place finisher Mikey Flynn from a couple of weeks ago to start the SK Modified season here at Stafford. Now let's hear from a driver that's hoping to get a better result than she had a couple of weeks ago in the late model feature. That's Alex Fern with Rob.
Kyle, Alex Fern still brought home a top 10 after a lap 1, turn 1 incident. Alex, what did these last couple weeks look like for you guys getting this car back into shape?
Well, we had a little bit of extra time to do it because we had a scheduled week off and a rain out, so it wasn't too bad. A lot of it was cosmetic damage. There wasn't anything major, but it was still a lot of work, so thankfully we had that extra time to take care of things and also to make some improvements to the car and make it a little bit better for this week. So we're excited about that. Thank you to everyone who helped over the past couple weeks. And yeah, so we're looking forward to it. Again, like, we had the chance to fix everything and also make some things better. So we're just looking forward to that.
What were you able to learn on Sizzler Sunday despite the lap 1 damage?
Well, I think one of the things that we learned that we are definitely excited about was that we had a good car. It wasn't perfect. There are things we can do to make it better, but we knew that we had a good place to start from, and we knew that the changes that we made were helpful. So that's really exciting because there have been Sizzlers in the past where we've come here and like we're just completely off and just can't have any luck. So I think that that was very exciting. Also, just getting back into the swing of things, doing some green flag laps next to cars, passing some cars, learning what works for us, what doesn't work. So, you know, even though it's my 3rd year in the division, there's still a lot that I'm learning and that we're learning. So I think that that was really nice.
Alex optimistic going into the opening Friday night. Now Kyle's with the driver, runner-up in the limited late models.
And Rob able to catch up with a rookie in the limited late model division, but a very impressive run a couple of weeks ago. 2nd place for Jason Lafayette. First off, congratulations. How'd the car feel out there?
Good. I mean, the car was great. I couldn't ask for a better car. I mean, it made me look probably pretty good, so I was happy with it.
A lot of success in the street stocks for a lot of years here at Stafford. Why the move up here this year?
We just figured it time for a change, you know. Maybe I was looking to build a new car, and it was kind of Bob had brought it up to me. He's like, let's try this. So here we are.
The competition in the limited late models, I believe 11 different winners last year. You're looking, I know, to add your name to that list, but what were your early observations of your competition out there for this season?
I mean, everybody's tough, right? Like you got some really senior guys out there that have run in the division a long time, and they're all really good. I mean, so it's just still getting used to people that are out there and knowing what's going to happen, you know, shifts and stuff like that. So
Good luck out there later tonight.
thank you, appreciate it.
That's Jason Lafayette, part of a very impressive rookie class here in the limited late models. Also includes Travis Hydar. We'll be watching them and the rest of the drivers running for this year's championship. Now let's hear from one of our winners from a couple of weeks ago on the other side of the pitch from the street stocks with Rob.
Kyle, I caught up with Bert Willett. Bert, you snapped a nearly 3-year winless streak. Walk me through the emotion of that moment.
Man, that checkered flag came out, and I think the marbles hit the floor. I mean, I just was so excited, so happy to get that monkey, bad juju, bad luck, whatever you want to call it. Like, just to get that snap to was, especially here at Sizzler. You know, winning here at Stafford is just special. Winning the Spring Sizzler just makes it that much more special. You know, just really cool. Really cool to start off that year. I needed that.
Now, you made a pretty incredible pass down below a lap car, and most of the field, safe to say this car's pretty planted to the ground. You feeling as good about it today as you did on Sizzler Sunday?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I really got to thank Travis Hydar and company. You know, racing him and Waterman the last few years, like, dude, they came with their A game every week. It forced me to go home and work my program, figure out what I needed to do to be better, to contend with those guys. And I mean, I'm grateful for the competition because, I mean, I feel it set me up to just come out for Sizzler and do what we did.
Now, you arguably gave us highlight of the week a few weeks ago. You got anything special up your sleeve for us tonight?
Hey, ask those rental cars. If they give me another opportunity like that, well, I can't say I won't take it.
Bert Willett hoping to go back-to-back. It's time to go racing here, and Ben Dodge and Kyle Rickey are on the call for it all.
Well, it is finally a picture-perfect night for auto racing here at the half mile in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Everybody is pumped up and excited in the paddock area. A great night of competition, and we're going to be finishing off that SK Light LCQ event that a lot of competitors were extremely excited over, but unfortunately we were unable to get it in. Today, picture-perfect setting. The racetrack is very fast. The buzz in the pit area area is tonight is going to be one of those nights. Will we see new winners, repeat winners? Kyle, Ricky, you've had the chance to talk to a lot of folks. And, of course, those opportunities have been a buzz in our paddock today.
Yeah, a lot of folks that had an extra 7 days to think about things after the Napa Springs Sizzler now 19 days ago. The conditions perfect, unlike that afternoon where it was about 45 degrees and heavy wind gusts. A picture-perfect day, so we'll see how that changes the handling of the cars on what could be a very different racetrack from what they competed on here a couple of weeks ago. Time will tell, but it feels good to be back here on a Friday night at the Stafford Motor Speedway, and we look forward to a full summer of action beginning here this evening.
Well, Jerry's backstage, and that's what we're looking at right now as they are getting the street stocks lined up for qualifying round number 1. Big month of auto racing is coming to a close for May, but will be kicking off for the month of June. And, of course, tonight's event is brought to you in part by the good folks from Monaco Ford, providers of the official safety vehicles used here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Monaco Ford has 2 convenient locations, Glastonbury and Niantic, Connecticut. And by the way, they are looking for service techs. If you're looking for a career or you'd like to be a part of a fast-growing, family-owned and operated business, Monaco Ford is looking for you. Just call their Glastonbury office, or those of you in the Niantic area. Speak to our friends there, the Monaco family, along with Doug D'Alessandro. They'll be more than glad to have you a part of their winning team and combination. You know, Kyle, we at Stafford are so fortunate that we have spectacular car counts in all of the divisions, but already, and we've only got one under our belt, the greatest race in the history of spring, we see a lot of competitors are more prepared now than they've ever been in the past. They're ready for the challenges, and to win here at Stafford, we saw that in the post-race interviews. It's something very special.
Yeah, going to be a very competitive season, I think, like you mentioned, in all 5 of our weekly divisions, the street stocks, the limited late models, which were extremely competitive a year ago with double-digit winners, along with the SK Modifieds, limited late models, part of the program, along with the SK Lights. There's going to be a lot of regular drivers in that division looking to make that feature event later tonight through the consolation race, of course. Most of the starting lineup for tonight's SK Light 30-lap feature determined by the Napa Auto Parts dual races a couple of weeks ago. More on that in a bit. Looks like heat race action about to start. Street stocks head out onto the racetrack.
It is round number 1, and car number 13 will bring the field to green. The Charlie's Towing TTM Technologies car from Stafford Springs. It is Matt Martell.
And to the outside of the front row, car number 55 from Southampton, Massachusetts, the SK Property Maintenance IMC manufacturing entry for Brandon Warren.
Row number 2, position number 3, car number 15, the Duckbusters duck cleaning car from Ware, Massachusetts, Sean Petlock.
Car number 42 goes next, our reigning champion from Barkhamsted, Connecticut, the PJ Ladola and Sons Electrical Contractors, number 42 for Travis Downey.
Let's take a look at row number 3, car number 01. He's a multiple champion here in the Beavers Camper Machine from Agawam, Massachusetts, the 01 of Johnny Walker.
6 starter, car number 51 from Enfield, Connecticut, the Garrett's Carpentry entry for Garrett Pease.
Talent that came from Monday Night Racing, already showing great improvement and great talent. The Connecticut Axle and Spindle Services car from Ellington, Connecticut, car number 32, Colton Gambacorda.
And his outside, the 00 from Hamden, Massachusetts, the Bobby's Burner Service car for Bobby Wilson.
So there you have it. That is our field of cars assembled in the competition as we're ready to do battle. Once again, this is round number 1. Mike Helberg is on the starter's stand, and in addition to that, picking up at the rear of the field is Bobby Wilson of Hamden, Mass, in the Bobby's Burner Service Machine, an added car to the event.
And the 00 for Brendan Merzda joining us here tonight.
So there we go, and Bill Long joining us on the starter stand as well for this evening's program. They pass beneath the Napa, the official auto parts store of the Stafford Motor Speedway billboard. Off turn number 4 to get them fired up. Here they come, Kyle. Round number 1 is underway.
Green flag is out. We're underway. Brandon Warren from the outside lane looks to get the jump as they go to turn number 1 for the first lap of this qualifying event, and the outside lane advances. Here's the 42 with Travis Downey able to clear Matt Martell, who fades to third, now fourth as Pease goes around to the top side of the 51.
All of a sudden, loose car on the racetrack, car 51, goes spinning like a top. That's Garrett Pease. He gets it down in the grass. We keep going down into turn 1. The gentleman who's the defending champion making his presence known, he applies the pressure down the back straightaway. But Brandon Warren shakes literally Travis Downey off. Caution flag is out. The reason for the caution, the car down.
No trouble, turn 3. It's that Martell that goes around after the fact, and the caution already out as you were describing the incident with the Garrett Pease car.
Yep, the Garrett Pease car is the car that brought out the caution. So based on that, the spin came after the caution. So he will be able to probably pick up in the position that he was running with car number 13, which was in the 4th spot for Matt Martell. Timing and scoring will settle all of that. Well, the gentleman in charge of what goes on, who keeps the playing field fair, is Chris Gambado. Gunny assisting him from race control, as we said before. So, and of course, our 2 chief scorers here at the Speedway, Judy Clinty along with Russ Smith. They are involved in timing and scoring as well as preparing the qualifying heats and the procedures there. So it takes a lot, as we know, Kyle, to put on a quality show of this type. That's what the Root family has been famous for, and we are proud and honored to be a part of all of that each and every Friday night. Bring a friend, not too late right now. I want you to tweet, text, send a message, any form of social media. Invite somebody to come out and enjoy this evening's program. There is still plenty of time left, plenty of great seats available, and we would love to see them here. So we are in for an incredible night of great racing action. The Monaco Ford Safety Services crew checking out the racing surface itself. So we are getting the surface fixed back up in its correct order, and we should be ready to resume. You know, there's still a lot of racing action left here at the Speedway. The weekly racing continues, as we said. May 23rd, there will be a Friday night event on May 30th. The 23rd will be the SK Lights Double Down, as we know. That's this evening's program. The first of 2 40-lap feature events for the SK Light division. And, of course, Casella Waste, of course, the 80 is coming. We're going to take a look at the replay and see if we can figure this out. All eyes are on our big screen, center stage.
And a new camera position over there in turn 3. And you can see Gambacorda getting into the 13 just a bit upon entry into the corner. And around goes the 13. And they're getting things sorted out. There may be some debris over in turn number 3. The Monaco Ford safety team still cleaning that up. You mentioned the schedule, and it's going to be a busy couple of months here at the racetrack. You mentioned next week the Monaco Ford SK Light Double Down, a 40-lap feature event for the SK Lights. So they're in the spotlight for a couple of weeks in a row with a 30-lap event here this evening. AZ Roof and Kids Night in 2 weeks' time. And then we go to the Casella Waste SK Modified 80-lapper. That's the first event in the Tick Mike Triple Crown coming up here this summer. We'll talk more about that. Limited late models have some time in the spotlight as well on June 13th. As those watching home at Flow get a look at the schedule over the next couple of weeks. Wild Thing Karts kicked off last Monday night.
Great night.
Huge kart count.
A lot of surprises in that Monday night program.
There were.
Among the leading ones, our good buddy Woody Pitcat's son took down in his first race ever a victory, showing that the apple didn't fall very far from that tree as well.
Bryce Pitcat, fourth generation driver.
Yes, congratulations on a job well done. And Dad said, I'll tell you, that was the most exciting thing I ever experienced. And I've had a lot of success and a lot of fun at Stafford, but that was the big prize for all of this.
Mom was pretty excited, too.
Oh, yes.
Erica, a former NEMA midget winner here at the racetrack, along with Woody, obviously one of the winningest drivers in the history of this facility. So it was pretty cool to see both on the front stretch celebrating with Bryce on Monday nights.
It was as well, and a lot of other great winners as well. Mason Summers, which is Rob Summers, the Hoosier Tire representative here at the Speedway. His son taking down a victory as well. So
Matt
a lot
Dupuy.
going on. Yes, so we were blessed with some great racing, and it was a new racetrack, and it was fast, and the kids just adjusted to it like it was nothing. It was really pretty impressive to see how well they did. And remember, if you can't make it here on Monday night, you can tune in on Flow.
Yeah, we're here.
And see every bit of the action, lap after lap, and you won't be disappointed. But come out and support these kids, the future stars of racing, every Monday night. And we've had so much talent come up from the Monday night program. Kyle, give us some of those names from Monday nights that have moved into our Friday night program.
I mean, you look at the drivers like Mike Christopher Jr., race winner here in the SK Modifieds, former limited late model champion Alex Fern. The list goes on and on. Colton Gambacorta among the newest drivers moving up and into big track competition on Friday nights. Matt Brewer, a driver that has come up through the ranks. The Morrison boys, which are competing in SK Lights. I feel like half of the SK Light field just a couple of years ago was part of our Monday night kart program. As we get set to go back to green here, street stocks are on track right now. That's where the focus will shift. Brandon Warren in the 55 on the front row. Travis Downey to his outside in the 42. 1 of 5 in the books as we go back under the green flag.
Well, the green is out, and they are evenly matched to the bottom of turn number 1. Brandon Warren, the red car, is on the inside of the racetrack. Last circuit before we went to yellow, Travis Downey was the quickest car on the racetrack. He's now running in the tire tracks. Takes a peek at the inside, tries to upset the leader, but Brandon Warren leads him back. 4 cars in single file formation. All of a sudden, car number 01, no surprises here. Johnny Walker has moved in to try to challenge for the 3rd position. Sean Petlock is there.
Talked to Petlock earlier today, excited about tonight and in 2025 in general, hangs on to 3rd. Downey had a peek to the inside of Warren for the race lead, but had to check up going into turn 3. Got back in the line and will try it again as they get the 2-lap marker. 2 to go for the race leaders, and a bid for 3rd continues side by side into turn number 1. Walker to the inside of Petlock.
Walker doing everything he can to keep that car low on the bottom of the racetrack. But remember, these are momentum race cars. Sean Petlock fighting hard in the outside lane. Side by side, white flag is out. Leader still remains Brandon Warren, but at the stripe for 3rd by inches, it's Johnny Walker. But there's still less than a half a mile to determine who is the best and will finish among the top 4.
Good 3-way battle from 3rd on back. Gambacorta, part of that mix as well, goes to the inside of Petlock for 4th. Walker has cleared for 3rd as the leaders come off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is out, and Brandon Warren will win the opening heat race of the evening over Travis Downey, Johnny Walker, Sean Petlock, and Colton Gambacorta. Pease gets turned here at the start-finish line off the front bumper of Matt Martell just as they were taking the checkered flag.
Yep, Brandon Medusa is the 8th place car, and of course, David DeRoche will round out the top 9. Hats off and a shout out to Colton Gambacorta. He's improved every time he's been on the racetrack. He had a great top 5 run there, and I don't think it's going to stop him tonight. He's coming to the front of this field. But you're looking at our winner, Brandon Warren, another great talent who has improved so much as the safety services crew checking out the front straight away to make sure there's no debris there whatsoever.
And Pease is able to pull away in the 51 after coming together with the 13 of Martell just at the checkered flag. So good sign there. Not a lot of debris, so it should be a fairly quick cleanup, and then we'll roll out heat race number 2.
Yes, the infield care center checking things out to make sure things are well, and it looks like the pace car with lights on, provided by Wheelan Engineering. First names and lights and sirens and safety services used throughout the world. Second qualifying round consists the same. That will be 9 cars for 5 laps, and as they come running onto the racetrack, car number 88 will start at the point. That's Kyle Johnson from Manchester, Connecticut, the Ricky Brunn painting machine.
And at his outside, car number 7 from Granby, Massachusetts, the Safeco Foam TMS dryer vent cleaning entry for Jeff Aslan.
Rico Pizza brings us this nice guy with car 71. From Stamford, Connecticut, the talented Marvin Minkler.
Car number 80 And to the outside of that second row from East Hartford, Connecticut, Jet Motorsports, the entry for Tyler Trott.
Let's take a look at row number 3, car 44 in the 5th starting spot. Wellington Pizza among the sponsors from Stafford Springs, Rob Sears.
Car 27 goes next in line from Pennsylvania, the TIPR warehousing car for Andreas Bogie.
And then we go to car number 58. That's David Siasco out of Madison, Connecticut, the Tea Kettle Restaurant Machine from Old Saybrook.
And rounding out the 4th row to the outside, car number 81 from Griswold, Connecticut, the Northeast Truck and Off-Road entry for Brent Gleason.
One of the rental race car machines from Naugatuck, Connecticut, car number 26, James Duveau. So that's it for round number 2. 5 to make the transfer in the handicap. 5 laps is the distance. Mike Elbert telling the field to cross over. Bill Long there is the backup as the field will be doubled up and we're ready to do battle. If you're just joining us or just watching, this is our second of 3 street stock qualifying events under ideal picture perfect weather here at the half mile. Still not too late to come out and join us. We'd love to see you here for tonight's program because the sun is shining and when it sets, it's going to be a great night for short track racing. The only way, the route way from Stafford Speedway. Kyle?
There we go into turn number 3. Kyle Johnson back with us here this season. Car number 88. Jeff Aslan, his outside on the front row. Pace car is on pit road. Another 5 laps. Goes under the green flag here. Heat race number 2 for the street stocks. And Johnson will lead the field into turn number 1. Aslan stays right up alongside to his outside. In fact, the front 2 rows all still locked up together and able to break away from the rest of the field.
Well, like a swarm of bees that got rattled in the nest. They head down into turn number 3. Car number 7, Jeff Aslan, moves into the 1 spot, but behind him is where the action is. There is in second now, car number 88. That, of course, is Kyle Johnson, Tyler Trott, Marvin Minkler. They're all in there in the top 4. Then there's a big gap, but right now you're looking at that battle for second. Kyle, nobody's giving up a square inch of this racetrack there.
Kyle Johnson leads that battle for position, but gets shuffled up the racetrack just a bit by Tyler Trott, who takes the position away. And following him to the inside, the 71 of Marvin Minkler, who takes 3rd. Johnson back to 4th as they single out at the front of the field, and all chase down our race leader, Jeff Aslan.
Down the back straightaway, things have started to settle in. Single file, but I don't think it's going to stay that way for long. This time, when they come off turn number 4, popsicle sticks are up. 1 mile, 2 circuits left in this one. Jeff Aslan picking up where he left off. He was very strong 1 year ago out in front, but Tyler Trott is the quickest car on the racetrack. He's currently setting in second. I think he's been saving a little bit, Kyle, and now he's going to move in 2 circuits to get the job done.
Last year's championship runner-up in the 2nd spot, closing in on Jeff Aslan, our race leader here in heat race number 2. Does Trott have enough time to close that gap as they enter the back straightaway for the final time?
Well, a big story here is now the battle for the 4th and the 5th position. But for Jeff Aslan, there's less than 2 turns. He comes up on a lapped automobile. Jeff Aslan is going to take down the checker, and there it is. He'll take down the win. Tyler Trott, quickest car on the racetrack for the quickest lap, would finish in 2nd. Great run for Marvin Minkler in 3rd. Kyle Johnson to finish in 4th, and Brett Gleason to round out the top 5 preferred starting spots. Kyle, 6 through 9.
David Chasko finished in 6th, Rob Sears 7th, Andreas Bogie in 8th, and James DeVoe round out the 9 cars in heat race number 2 for the street stocks. Round 3 going to take to the racetrack here in just a moment. 9 more cars looking to qualify for tonight's main event.
And here's what it looks like for those 9 cars. Car number 67 is Aaron Flemings out of Uncasville. The Faith Construction Machine starting at the point.
Second starter, car number 69 from Belchertown, Massachusetts, the Roy's Auto Service entry for Bill Cody.
Third starter to the field is car number 49, the Barn Package Store Machine from Summers, Connecticut, Jason Raymond.
Opening day winner will go off from fourth. Car number 84 from Ellington, Connecticut. The American sign, J&J Trucking car for Burt Willett.
Their starting spot, car number 37, the J-Truck Country Machine from Columbia, Connecticut. Car 37, David Masha Sr.
Sixth starter, car number 23 from Wallingford, Connecticut. The CKG Welding and Fab car for Alex Spinato.
In the seventh starting spot, row number 4, Minchella Motorsports brings us car number 99 from Somers, Connecticut, Isabella Manchella.
Eighth starter, car number 5 from Bristol, Connecticut. The Trash Mob Garage car for Pete Kayer.
And starting in scratch, the runner race cars, number 66, Roger Mayhew from Goshen, Connecticut. He'll be our final starter.
So that's the starting lineup. 9 cars scheduled to take the green flag. We'll have an extra parade and pace lap here before getting the green. A couple of cars arriving late to the racetrack. So once they join and get in their proper starting spot, we'll be underway in about a lap and a half from now.
Well, following the conclusion of this qualifying event, we'll move to the limited late model qualifying heats. Conclusion of those, the late models, and then the SK modifieds. Now, we want to make everybody aware of the fact that the SK Lights have their LCQ event of 15 laps, and therefore there will not be qualifying heats for those cars.
Now, most of that field has been set already with the dual qualifying races. Those were run on Napa Spring Sizzler Sunday, 2 20-lap features that set the inside row and the outside row for the first, doing the math here, 12 rows. And then positions, there'll be 2 more starters from the event that transfer, the top 2 finishers, plus provisional starters to fill the field for the SK Light Modified, or that division this season that coincide with the Napa Duels back on Spring Sizzler Sunday.
They certainly do. You know, we're fortunate here at Broadcast Central. We have a lot of folks that check in with us. Woody Pitcat is one. JJ, who recently got married, he's watching with his children at home.
Green flag is out. Heat race number 3 off and rolling as Aaron Plemons brings the field into turn number 1 with Bill Cody to his outside. Good racing for the top spot. Here comes Burt Willett. Remember the move he made a couple of weeks ago, Ben, going from 6th to 1st in traffic. Little less work to do here as he takes the 3rd spot away now. 3rd car in line on the bottom.
Here they come, bottom of turn number 1, side by side, a bid for the runner-up position. Jason Raymond, who came to life also last season, he moves in, takes over 2nd. But the guy to keep your eyes on, no question about it, is Burt Willett. Burt Willett moves in, 4th position, short-lived. He's coming up the food chain rather quickly. They come back to the stripe. He's going to rock it again. He was so strong, bend to victory lane. He's looking to do the same again.
Aaron Plemons at the front of the field, fastest lap, a lap ago as the race leader. That would make sense, but how long will that last, though, for the driver of car number 67, Jason Raymond in 2nd, closing in just a bit. Burt Willett is there in 3rd, Bill Cody 4th. Nobody able to really get away. At the same time, no one able to challenge for a spot right now as Plemons pulling away just a bit. Isabella Manchella, good run, running in 5th right now, running unchallenged on the racetrack in the 99.
She certainly is. She came from the back of the pack. She's doing really well. Back up front, bid is for 3rd. White flag is out. Meanwhile, the 69 of Bill Cody running right there with the top 4 cars. And down into turn number 2, off that 2nd turn. Jason Raymond continues to pull away. Burt Willett knows he's got 2 turns left. He's a real racer. You saw him talk about it. He's a character on and off the racetrack. He races every lap up on the wheel. But for this qualifying event, Aaron Plemons will take down the impressive victory. Jason Raymond is for 2nd. Good run for Burt Willett. Bill Cody, same can be said in 4th. And a great run from scratch for Isabella Manchella.
David Masha Sr. will finish in the 6th spot. Alex Spinato 7th, Pete Kayer 8th, and Roger Mayhew will round out the field of 9 in our final street stock qualifying event.
So coming up next is our limited late model division, and they are preparing backstage. They'll be coming out in just a moment. I want to remind you to take a look at the billboards that are located on the backstretch. These are individuals and companies that contribute to the racing action here at the Speedway. For more information on how you can get involved, please feel free to contact us. We'd love to have you as a part of Team Stafford. Kyle, let's get into our first limited late model qualifier.
Car number 83 23 will be on the pole here in heat race number 1 from Wellington, Connecticut. The Rob Russell chassis-sponsored car for R.J. Surdell.
This competitor comes from Springfield, Vermont, driving the Bears Cleaning Service F&M Enterprises car. Car 74, it is Matt Winters.
Third starter, car number 24 from Three Rivers, Massachusetts. The WGF building entry for Kyle Terrio.
This driver's got a brand new sponsor, Premier Energy. Car number 22, the GP Fence Machine from New Hartford, Connecticut, Gary Patno.
Fifth starter, car number 19 from Plainville, Connecticut. The CSB Communications car for Adrian Paradise III.
And in the sixth starting spot, car number 59, the Utility Service of New England Machine. It, of course, from Rocky Hill, Connecticut, car number 59. He is the guy to watch. It is Matt Clements.
Seventh starter, car number 11 from Woodbury, Connecticut. The Haidar construction car for Travis Haidar.
In the eighth starting spot, the Freedom Equipment Service AZ Roofing Machine. From Pasco, Rhode Island, it is the Scott Nordman car. Car 82 for Samantha Dell.
That's the lineup as the field gets the 1-to-go signal. Matt Clement picking up kind of right where he left off a year ago as the 2024 champion of this division. A couple of weeks back with taking the checkered flag and the first win of this season. Car number 59, bit of a new look this year. A lot more blue on the side of that 59 entry as he'll start in the outside lane when we go under the green flag here in about a lap from now. Utility Services New England sponsoring Clement here this season.
And added starter to the event, Darren Vertiflay out of Willington, Connecticut, in the Mojo Cafe, American Landscaping and Lawn Service car, picks up at the rear of the field. Great new shot for those of you watching on Flow into turn number 3. Let's see what's going to happen. They address the starter. He looks them down, gives them the evil stare, the evil eye, and there is the green. Good start this time, and R.J. Surdell, a gentleman that had a great deal of success a year ago, kind of came into his own in this division. Brand new race car as he continues to lead them down the back straightaway. But right there on his back bumper, one of the fiercest competitors in this division, Matt Winters. Matt Winters running in second, and of course, car number 22 with that brand new sponsor, Gary Patno in the Premier Energy car, is currently third. I don't think he's going to stay there for very long. He looks to be marching forward.
Good looking car this year for Gary. Bit of a new look in that 22 entry, running third right now, just in front of Kyle Terrio in fourth. They're all chasing R.J. Surdell, who leads back down to the line to complete lap number 2. Not really able to break away from Matthew Winter. As you mentioned a moment ago, Winter strong a year ago in this class and looking to contend more often than not at the front of the field. Further back, another driver looking to contend this year, and a familiar name, Ben, about to take over that 5th spot.
Certainly is. Battle for 5th. Adrian Paradis is there, shuffled a bit on the outside. Here comes Travis Haidar with car number 11. This kid is so talented. He dominated the racing action for the longest time, moved up to this division, and has had some stellar finishes already in a very short but promising career. R.J. Surdell, a brand new Rob Russell chassis car, out in front, halfway down, halfway to go.
8 laps to run here for the limited late models, and the 24 stepping out of line. Kyle Terrio on Gary Patnode in the 22. That is from third, and they're really stacked up behind that battle. Travis Haidar looking to make headway to the front. Also in the mix, Adrian Paradise in the 19. Here's Clement in that mix as well in the 59. Side-by-side racing, and it's going to be the 24, Terrio, that takes over third.
Unfortunately, Patno got in the wrong lane, and he backed himself up in that position, losing now 3 spots. He's not done yet. He'll fight back. But meanwhile, already up to the top 3, Travis Haidar. Purple and yellow. No, it's not the Easter Bunny. It looks more like the Energizer Rabbit. The way he's going, he's up into position 3. Surdell's commanding lead. Quickest cars on the racetrack, pretty much the same. Matt Winters was quick for a while, but then Travis Haidar picked up and brought his game forward. Further back, Kyle, we've got Patnode in a battle for position number 6.
Yeah, the backslide continues for Gary Patnode. Once he got out of the top 3, has really gone to the wrong side of the field. Adrian Paradise trying to work around him as we are into the final lap of this qualifying event. Race leader RJ Serdell has led all the laps thus far, looking to bring him around to the checkered flag this time by.
There's no question about it. RJ Serdell's got a rocket, red rocket tonight as the checkered flag is out. RJ Serdell will take down the victory. Matt Winters will finish in second. Travis Hydar, very strong third. Matt Clement, no question about it, strong in fourth, and Kyle Therio will round out the top 5. The story here is going to be 7, Kyle. We've got 2 more cars making the transfer.
Gary Patnode, one of them, will finish in the 6th spot as the second qualifying event will make their way out onto the speedway here in just a moment. Good field of 18 limited late models with us here this evening.
So as one group exits and heads backstage to the paddock area, another group will transfer and move forward in the limiteds. Car number 9 will be Connor Jensick out of Canton, Connecticut, the ARI Spray Foam Gold Properties car.
Family affair on the front row with car number 23, older brother that is, Devin Jensick will start up alongside from Canton, Connecticut, the Genco construction car.
Let's take a look at row number 2. Lloyd's Transmission brings us the 14 from Agawam, Mass, Kevin Cormier.
Car number 28, former champion of this class, will go to the outside of that row from Tallinn, Connecticut, Stribel Trucking, the entry for Rich Hammond.
Let's go back to starting position number 5. Multiple track champion, the LS Equipment Lavoie Racing Special from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, the very talented driver of car number 6, Jeremy Lavoie.
6th starter back with us here tonight, and the 3rd member of the Jensick family in this race from Canton, Connecticut, Funkaway, providing the sponsorship for Ari Jensick.
Moving now to starting position number 7, car number 55. Tri-State Equipment Repair brings us the 55 from Somers, Connecticut, Jason Lafayette.
And at his outside, car number 18 from Wethersfield, Connecticut, Utility Services New England, the entry for Scott Clement.
And starting scratch, Daddy O'Honey brings us car number 42 from Northford, Connecticut, Dana Ray. That is your second and final limited late model qualifier. Getting ready behind the curtains is, of course, our late model qualifiers, and they'll be coming up next.
Field will double up into their rows of 2 here in limited late model qualifying race number 2. Connor Jensick, Devin Jensick, both winning a year ago. Sister Ari looking to get to victory lane here, running a limited schedule this season. Of course, Ari running down south will be in the Better Half Dash at Trackhouse Motorplex this coming week in advance of the Coca-Cola 600 next weekend in Charlotte. She's the defending winner and looking to start her week of racing off with perhaps a win here tonight. We'll see how that 17 goes here in this qualifying event as the field comes off of turn number 4 under the green flag, and her brothers will bring the field into turn 1.
There's no question they're pretty much side by side as they enter the apex of turn number 2. Out in front, starting to string it out just a tiny bit. It is car number 9. But wait a minute, it's not over with yet because Devin Jensick is right there in the outside lane. Kevin Cormier there off the turn. The point of the arrow was the 9 car. Short-lived, Kevin Cormier does it the hard way, outside, inside, threads the needle, and who is right there with him? Jeremy Lavoie, the fastest car on the racetrack, the red number 6.
3-time champion of this division, car number 6, Jeremy Lavoie, looking to take second away from Jensick. As they come around to complete lap number 2, Connor Jensick in the 9. Here comes Jason Lafayette in the 55 car. So impressive a couple of weeks ago in the feature with a runner-up finish. We talked to him in our pre-race show a little bit ago, and he's coming to life again up to position number 3.
No question. He said this was a brand new race car. He gave credit to Bob Phil for building him a winning car. Well, guess what? Car 55 is coming to the top of this one, setting in the 3rd spot. Meanwhile, directly behind him is another competitor that is wasting no time at all, and that, of course, is Devin Jensick. Jensick now makes a bold bid for it, can't do it. Look a little further back. We've got a battle that is taking place, and that, of course, short-lived because the 17 car of Ari Jensick was right there at one point, but now forced to settle back into line.
Caution is out. We got a car showing some smoke in turn 2. Appears to be the 42 of Dana Ray. And there might be...
Tough break there is the Ray machine. You're looking at it as he's as they're trying to get that car back down on pit road. Unfortunately, does not visually look, hard to tell from our vantage point. But there is a piece of debris on the racetrack. You're looking at it right there, and looks like a piece of exhaust extension, as they'll be picking that up, and we'll be tightening the field back up.
Remember, Dana had an incident in practice just a little bit ago when the final session was able to drive away from what appeared to be a spin on the back straightaway, shedding some debris here to put us under this caution flag about halfway through this limited late model qualifying event, second and final for this division.
And the Monaco Safety Services crew getting a nice workout tonight. Hey, if you're looking for a career, the folks at Monaco Ford are looking for service techs. That's right, in their Glastonbury location and their Niantic, Connecticut location. Give them a call. Ask for Doug D'Alessandro. He'll be more than glad to help you or any of the Monaco family. Great atmosphere for work, great money for the job, and of course, over 100 years of being in the business makes Monaco Ford an industry leader.
Ben, I have to ask you, did you hear the news earlier this week here at the racetrack?
Which news was that?
The Tour of Destruction is coming to Stafford.
And it's awesome.
It's going to be.
I have seen some of the sneak previews of that. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
A little bit of everything on September 20th when it comes to stunts and carnage, automotive carnage. It's going to be their first ever visit to the Stafford Motor Speedway. School bus racing. We have stunts, a jet car, a flagpole race, enduros, demo derbies, a whole lot more. It's going to be fun. Mark it on your calendar, that is. Just announced yesterday, the Tour of Destruction coming to Stafford on September 20th.
You won't want to miss that. It's an amazing, amazing format. They are wild and crazy in every step of the way, and even some of the guys next door are going to be part of the act, as the old saying goes. So it's not too late. Check them out on the web. Be here for history in the making. It's guaranteed to be a fun night of great entertainment, affordable entertainment at its best here at Stafford.
Going to be a busy summer. We have the Hot Wheels Monster Truck Live Tour coming in a couple of weeks' time. Cletus McFarland is coming back in July for his second consecutive season here at the racetrack for not one, but 2 days of action. That's July 18th and 19th. The Monster Trucks will be here June 15th and June 14th. So the return of Bigfoot. First time we've seen Bigfoot here since the 90s.
Oh,
a lot happening here at Stafford this season on top of an already full slate of oval track racing every Monday and Friday night.
You know, Kyle, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. You were a big monster truck fan. You were huge in that, and I can remember every time there was an event for monster trucks, you were there.
I was, and we'll be here in a couple of weeks here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Tickets are available for all those events at StaffordSpeedway.com. Field lined up, ready to go in their rows of two to resume this qualifying heat race for the limited late models. Halfway home, Kevin Cormier, Jeremy Lavoie to break up the front row.
Here they come off turn number 4. Mike Helberg gives them the green, and we've got a drag race. Kevin Cormier right there on the inside trying to maintain the lead, and he does. It takes Lavoie a lap or so to gain some momentum and some forward bite. Jason Lafayette still sitting in the 3rd spot. Back in the 4th position, it is the Devin Jensick machine was there for a while, but all of a sudden that changed. Rich Hammond moves in rather quickly. Jason Lafayette still sitting in 3rd.
Lafayette Lafayette in 3rd, Hammond in 4th, and in a good battle with Devin Jensick for that spot. Top 3 able to break away. No real challenge for Cormier right now, the race leader. In fact, he's driving away a couple car lengths with 2 laps to go from Jeremy Lavoie in the runner-up spot. Lafayette has settled in the line in 3rd. Hammond and Jensick 4th and 5th further back. Ari Jensick running by herself in the 6th spot in car number 17 will be the white flag this time by.
No question about it, less than a half a mile. It's all going to be history. Kevin Cormier just clicked off the quickest lap of the event. White flag is out. Final time. Down into turn number 1, off turn number 2. He continues to string it out. Kevin Cormier's got a rocket tonight into turn 3. He sets the pace by about 5 car lengths over Lavoie, and that's a big accomplishment when you can do that over a 3-time champion.
Checker flag is out, and Kevin Cormier will pick up the heat race win over Jeremy Lavoie in second. Jason Lafayette in third, Rich Hammond fourth, and Devin Jensick will round out the top 5.
So there you have it. Qualifying is all but done for the limited late models. Coming up next is our full-bodied Premier Division, better known as the late models here at Stafford. And they will be center stage with 2 qualifying rounds in just a moment. Those of you watching on Flow, we appreciate you being a part of the festivities. Tell a friend, get them here to see it live. It's even more exciting live than it is in your living room, and I know that's hard to believe. But right now, we see the late model qualifier number 1 coming onto the racetrack. That means car number 33, Aiden Burrill out of Park Hampstead, will bring the field to green in the American Legion 182 be the 1 car.
Outside of the front row, car number 2 from Monroe, Connecticut, the JSB Motorsports car for Dwayne Knoll.
Keep your eyes on this, the Mayday Oils number 87 from North Franklin, Connecticut. First competitor, Chris Myers.
4th starter, car number 10 from Fairfield, Connecticut, the Springfield Thunderbirds car for Wayne Corey Jr.
A6A Associates brings us car number 9 from Naugatuck, Connecticut, Bobby Stirk III.
6th starter, car number 92 from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, King Gray Coach Line, sponsoring Tom Fern.
Keep your eyes on this guy, multiple track champion, the Lavigny Law Machine from Ellington, Connecticut. He's one of the best. Car number 23, Kevin Gambacorta. That is your starting lineup, 7 cars strong, 8 laps the distance, 5 cars to make the transfer in this one of 2 qualifying events. Following the conclusion of this, we will go to the SK Modified qualifiers, the opening ceremonies, and then we move on to the SK Light LCQ 15-lap event. The paddock area is ready and waiting for these events.
Field doubling up in their rows of 2. Will go green next time by. Keep an eye on Kevin Gambacorta starting toward the rear of the field. Car 23, 2-time and reigning champion here at the Stafford Speedway in the late models. Will be to the outside of the 3rd row and has a 3-time champion to his inside in Tom Fern. Newish color schemes for both of those competitors here this season. Tom now in orange and yellow, and a little bit more orange on the Gambacorta car, the 23, as they'll come around to the green flag this time by Aiden Burrill, Dwayne Knoll to bring up the front row as they get the green flag, and Aiden Burrill will get the jump on the inside. Chris Meyer just behind him as they go to turn 1. Meyer wanting to waste little time and going after the race lead.
No surprises here. Who's the tail that wags the dog there? It is Tommy Fern, car number 92. Quickly moves into second. Meanwhile, working his magic also into the top 3. Coming off that turn, it is car number 10, and that, of course, is Wayne Corey Jr. Corey up to the 3rd position. Stirk is back and forth. Here comes Kevin Gambacorta. He is working his magic to the inside, showing his championship stuff, Kyle. He moves into position number 4.
In the 4th spot, just ahead of Bobby Stirk, who is kicked back to 5th, and now in a battle with Dwayne Knoll for that position. Top 3 have been able to break away, led by Chris Meyer, who's the fastest car on the racetrack, but is he the most consistent? Here comes Tom Fern, trying to inch away at that lead in car number 92. Didn't hear much from Tom during the 2024 campaign here at the racetrack. He's wanting to change that here this season. Right now runs in 2nd.
Certainly doing a good job of trying to close up the gap, but Chris Myers continues to be the leader. 4/10 separate 1st and 2nd. Sounds like a lot, it's not. Halfway down, halfway to go. Bill Long with cross flags on the start stand off the turn. Myers commands
no trouble
lead.
Up in turn 3, a car into the outside wall. It's the 2 of Knoll. Will stay green for now as the leaders go back to 1. Back into the turn number 3, the 2 still off the pace here on the front straightaway. That car is slow, and he'll take a hard left to the infield on the Manafort Mini Mile as the race leaders go back to one. Meyer and Fern still 2 or 3 car lengths between them. Same distance back to Wayne Corey in third.
It appears that literally the distance between first and second, second and third and fourth is about the same. There is a 2-lap marker being given. You need to be among the top 5 cars. 4 of those spots are dominated by the fiercest competitors in this division. Meanwhile, we're working down to the wire. Setting back in position number 5, Bobby Sturck, but it appears that nobody has anything for Chris Myers. It's almost like he was playing with the field, because at one point Fern was reeling him in, but now he pulls away. White flag is out, Kyle. Final circuit.
Chris Meyer involved in a turn 1, lap 1 incident in the first feature event a couple of weeks ago. Looking to rebound and do well here tonight after that 11th place finish in the feature. He leads into turn number 3 for the final time, extending his advantage over Tom Fern. Checkered flag is out, and Chris Meyer will pick up the heat race win over Tom Fern in second, Wayne Corey in third, Kevin Gambacourt to fourth, and Bobby Sturck will complete the top 5.
Aiden Burrill just out of the transfer positions, and Dwayne Noel will pick up at the rear of the field. So there you have it, round number 1, now into the record books, but it's still a lot over with yet. You know why? Because we've got round number 2. And to bring the field onto the racetrack, this is a former veteran of the Foster Motorsports team from Enfield, Connecticut, car number 44, Scott Foster Jr.
Outside of the front row, the 07 from Belchertown, Massachusetts, the Tom O'Sullivan welding car for Chris Buffoni.
Safeco Foams brings us car number 12 from Hamden, Massachusetts, the very talented Alexandra Fern.
4-starter, car number 43 from Chicopee, Massachusetts, Universal Plastics to bring us Andrew Durand.
This guy's a mover and a shaker, the Jarmark Farms Botticello Incorporated car. Car number 79 from Enfield, Connecticut, Darrell Keene.
Another multi-time track champion will start in the 6th spot. Car number 97 from Granby, Massachusetts, the Meadows Motor Cars entry for Adam Gray.
Keep your eyes on this guy. He works his magic and gets to the front with aggression. The Tavern on the Tracks machine, car number 39 from Berlin, Connecticut, Paul Verrecchio Jr.
Opening day winner, car number 39 for Paul Verrecchio on Napa Spring Sizzler Sunday. So we'll see how he can cut his way up through the field when we get the green flag here in a couple of laps from now. Talked about Chris Meyer being involved in a lap 1, turn 1 incident a couple of weeks ago. The driver of car number 12, scheduled to start third here in this heat race, Alexandra Fern, also involved in that incident. She was able to continue and finish in the top 10 with the damaged race car. So we'll see after a couple of weeks of massaging that number 12 car to see if she can perhaps challenge for the victory here later tonight.
Yes, and she told us early in a post-race interview that she felt very confident and very, very good about her efforts for tonight's program. So get ready. It's time to present our second late model qualifier. If you just joined us, welcome to the show. And of course, we remind you the Double Hook Bar is open at this time. Adult beverages, just the way that you like them. There is some locations, very few though, where you can literally have an ice cold drink and at the same time enjoy the races standing up at those special areas right next to the Double Hook Bar. Souvenirs are available, all the latest imported items, and your favorite drivers, whether they're here tonight or not, they have souvenir shirts, hoodies, and much, much more. Green flag is out, and it appears that Scott Foster decided he was going to go back and race and put together this car, Old Faithful. It's working, but look at Bam Bam Andrew Durand. He's got that pink and white 43 all hooked up in the outside lane, Kyle, but Alexander Fern is there.
Yeah, he tried to thread the needle between Buffoni and Fern off of turn number 2, picked off one spot, and now challenges Fern for the other in second. Alexandra, meanwhile, looking inside of Scott Foster for the race lead, but will fall in the line in second. Here's the battle for third. Buffoni back to the inside of Durand to try to take that spot away. Just in front of Adam Gray in car 97. It gets tight off turn 4.
It certainly does. Buffoni goes to the inside, tries to get that third position. It does not work. All of a sudden, it is Duran who backs up a bit. Befumi sees daylight. Look at Gray. He's among the best in the business. Car number 97. 5 cars contending for position number 3, and Bufumi has taken over the 3rd spot.
In the 3rd, Duran and Gray make contact for 4th. Gray to the inside and a little bit more contact in turn 2. Duran goes up the racetrack. Gray continues to dig hard on the bottom. That entire pack of traffic losing ground to the top 3. Here comes Verrecchio to the inside of Keene to look for the 6th spot, and will make that move off 4.
All of a sudden, the car drops off the pace. It is the number 79 machine of Daryl Keene. Mechanical woes, the story there. Verrecchio finds himself in position number 6. 6 is good, because that'll give him the advantage to be starting in one of the preferred front spots. Off the turn, back to the stripe, Scott Foster has found his rhythm. Again here at Stafford, Alexander Fern still in search, trying to chase him down.
Off of turn number 2 they go, up the back straightaway. Fern closing in on Foster, racing from 4th on back is best. Duran has it. Gray is there. Verrecchio is challenging from the back of the field. 2 laps to run. No change at the front with Foster, Fern, and Buffoni 1, 2, and 3. Then Duran in that 4th spot has his hands full right now with Adam Gray.
Adam Gray has been close so many times. Here comes Verrecchio. All eyes on turn number 3, position number 5. Here they come. White flag is out. That is the hot spot on the racetrack. And guess what? Paul Verrecchio shows why he was the big dog here at Stafford in the opening events. He moves into the top 5. Gray moves back to the 6th spot. 7 is the number. All 7 cars will be among the preferred starting spots. Here they come. Checkered flag is out, Kyle.
Fern, one final challenge off of turn 4, closes to within a car length, but will fall short. Scott Foster will pick up the heat race win over Alexander Fern in 2nd, Chris Buffoni in 3rd, Andrew Duran 4th, Paul Verrecchio to round out the front 5.
So a great run for Scott Foster to take down the impressive victory in his qualifying run. His brother Sean Foster, who now lives in Port Orange, Florida, is up visiting, and maybe he's brought him a little bit of good luck for tonight's presentation as well. SK Modifieds are coming up next. We refer to them as the fastest division of the night. Stafford's own. Wherever you go in the country, Kyle or me, what do they talk about? The SK Modifieds and their amazing runs here at this half-mile facility.
It's a fun division to watch. It's a great division to watch. It's been that way, the premier division here at the Speedway, since the early 1980s, and it continues strong into 2025 as we are set to get into the starting lineup of heat race number 1, which pulls onto the racetrack.
Well, it's the Avery Construction Corporation, number 10. From Somers, Connecticut, one of the nice guys in the paddock area, it is Dan Avery.
Car number 14 goes to his outside from Ellington, Connecticut, the Chapman Apartment Homes car for Stephen Chapman.
Another Avery Horsepower Hill Farms machine will be starting next from Berlin, Connecticut. Car number 22, 3rd starting spot, Keith Rocco.
4th starter, car number 16 from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, the steer right tire and alignment car for Dylan Kopeck.
Let's take a look at row number 3, position number 5. It's a Todd Owen Chassis Pro car, the Fowler's Auto Wrecking machine from East Hampton, Connecticut. Car 25, Anthony Flannery.
6th starter, car number 75 from right here in Stafford, the Monaco Ford sponsored car for David Arute.
Next we go to car number 81, the Cookers Construction Chassis Pro car, the multiple-time champion from Somers, Connecticut, the tenacious one, Todd Owen.
8th starter, car number 82 from Wolcott, Connecticut, New England Turf, Eastport Feeds, providing the sponsorship for Michael Christopher Jr.
In the 9th starting spot, it's a Bellaheggie Farms machine. This kid's got a ton of talent. Car 24 from Hamden, Mass, Mikey Flynn.
Car number 12 will go to his outside from Windsor, Connecticut, the Harcon Chrome car for Art Caruso.
Chapman Apartment Homes machine brings us car 41. Starting scratch from Ellington, Connecticut, it is Tyler Chapman.
Well, that's the way they'll line up here in heat race number 1 for the SK Modifieds. Jonathan Pulio, the opening day winner a couple of weeks ago, and he has been very happy that he's been able to hold the point lead for 19 days since that win.
I have a feeling he's going to hold it for a little while longer throughout the season. He's a very talented young man and finally getting the recognition and the credit. Him and his dad, father-son operation, and they are truly one of the hardest working teams in the paddock area. Here they come. Bill Long addresses the field with a snap of the wrist. Dan Avery down into turn number 1. All of a sudden, Avery is right in the center of the heated battle, and working his magic in the upper lane is Stephen Chapman. Chapman's got to go for it. Meanwhile, coming back off turn number 4, there's the 22, Keith Rocco. And another Avery machine. Following his boss, moves to the inside. Avery's got his hands full. Do or die time down into turn 3. Look at the move on the outside lane, applying the pressure as they come off turn number 4. It is the 16 car, Dylan Kopech, Kyle. Look at him make some real gains in the outside lane.
At the front of the field, you have Kopech looking for 4th on Flannery. Rocco closing in on Dan Avery, 2 longtime competitors in this division. Staples here at Stafford going 1 and 2 with Rocco closing in on Avery. Stephen Chapman's faster than both of them in car number 14. He's in 3rd in closing, coming to halfway this time.
There's no question about it. Halfway down and halfway to go. Look back for that 5th position. What a battle. Todd Owen moved in, took over the 5th spot. Right behind him, Mikey Flynn. Here's Michael Christopher. He's been boxed in the black number 82. Down the back straightaway. Story is the bottom of the field. Positions 5, 6, and 7. Last chance to be in the handicap. Here they come, back off turn 4.
Everybody has singled out into the second half of this event. Battle for 3rd is good with Flannery all over the back bumper of Chapman, who is at the same time looking inside and out on Rocco. Here's Flynn and Owen in a bid for 5th. Flannery steps out of line for 3rd in turn 3. All sorts of action as they come to 2 to go.
He just didn't step out of line. He just literally gained momentum and speed. Flannery moves into the 3rd position. Stephen Chapman back to 4th. Todd Owen is in 5. Mikey Flynn almost made a move. Now look at Michael Christopher. He's going to make the move. In the mid-pack of cars, they come back to the stripe. White flag is out.
Yeah, Christopher pretty quiet in this qualifying event, still in the second half of the field as the front half is already onto the back straightaway, and here comes Keith Rocco all over the back bumper of Dan Avery for the top spot. Avery looking to fend him off, but here comes Rocco, bottom shot off turn 4.
Checkered flag is out. Avery makes a little contact with the wall, but guess what? The boss did it. Dan Avery will take down the impressive victory by inches and a bounce off the front straightaway wall.
I don't even know if it's by inches. I'm looking at timing and scoring, and it's 0.000. I have never seen that before.
Amazing enough, Keith Rocco will finish in 2nd. Anthony Flannery kicked off the quickest lap of the event, which was a 19.095. Stephen Chapman was 4th. Todd Owen was 5th. Mikey Flynn was 6th. And Michael Christopher Jr. took down a very important position. That was 7th, Kyle Ricky.
That was an amazing finish that, again, I've never seen 0.000 before. Tyler Chapman was 8th, Dylan Kopech 9th, David Arute to round out the top 10. But fun race. And that's just a preview of what we have coming up later tonight. Avery and Rocco putting on a show here in the heat race for the SK Modifieds.
Well, Kyle, let's get to round number 2.
Car number 88 will start on the pole here in heat race 2 from North Haven, Connecticut. The Wheelers Auto Service sponsored car for Marcello Refrano.
Hummel's Hot Dogs brings us car number 11 from Farmington, Connecticut. Eddie Flemke prepares that, and that is Corey DiMatteo.
That's the front row. We'll take a look at a replay up on the big screen here and get a look at the finish of that event of the heat race a moment ago. Rocco crossing over on Avery, top to bottom, and
watch Avery scuffs the wall.
Wow.
And it was unbelievably close. Wow is right. Let's get back to the starting lineup. And let's go to row number 2.
Car 23 will start to the inside of that row from right here in Stafford. Prucker Motorsports, providing the sponsorship for Wesley Prucker.
Then it's the Brainerd Motorsports, number 96 from Canton, Connecticut, Kurt Brainerd.
Car number 76 will go to the inside of the next row. The 76 driving for Tom Bowles tonight will be Dylan Izzo.
Here's a guy that's been able to get the job done, the Casella Waste Systems machine from Worcester, Massachusetts. Car number 3, Troy Talman.
Car number 33 goes next from Wolcott, Connecticut. The Jarvis Brothers roofing entry for Michael Jarvis Jr.
The defending champion in the Tick Mike machine, the racechoice.com. Naprico car, the Petty Cash Motorsports car from Shelton, Connecticut. Very talented young man, Andrew Moeller.
Row 5 to the inside, 9th starter, car number 7. Winner here a couple weeks ago from Brantford, Connecticut. The Mr. Bruder plumbing car for Jonathan Pulio.
CNC Roofing brings us to 27 from South Windsor, Connecticut, John Sandberg.
And rounding out the 11 car field, car 71 from Salem, Connecticut, Darling Auto Parts to bring us divisional rookie Alexander Pearl. As for those that are watching on Facebook Live, that stream is about to conclude, and the rest of tonight's program can be seen exclusively on Flow Racing. And there's still a lot to happen here tonight at Stafford. We're just getting started.
We certainly are. We also want to mention that the Hummel's hot dog team, Eddie Flemke, John Hummel,